guys, this is Hamid. Welcome back to my channel. Okay guys, now it's finally here, the Sony Xperia 5. Now if you have been on this channel very long enough, you may remember. Now guys, if you guys remember, a few years ago I did the review of the Samsung Z Fold 3, and then last year I did the review of the Sony Xperia Mark IV, and now I finally got my hands on the 5. But anyway guys, if you are new to this channel, my name is Hamid. On this channel you will see me do reviews of different techs, the latest technology, especially by DJI, and latest phone reviews. Now I have been a photographer and videographer over 10 years, so if this is your channel, then please hit the subscribe button. But anyway guys, going into this phone, the very first thing that I've noticed when I unboxed this phone is the grip, the texture of the grip. I think Sony have added a grip on it. Now the good thing is you can't actually notice it until you actually look very close and maybe zoom. You might not be able to see it on camera, but when you touch it, you can actually feel a texture kind of grip, which makes it very comfortable to hold. We didn't get this on the Xperia 4 last year, so that's the first thing I've noticed. The other thing I've noticed is the flash on the camera module. It has moved up on the module. So last year on the Mark IV, it was on a different area. It was actually below, but they moved the flash. But they've actually moved the flash a bit above on the module area. And also you might notice another hole here, which is for audio sound. So now this gives us a better audio sound. And of course, Sony Xperia never seems to get rid of their headphone jack. If you are an old school person, the headphone jack is still there. Me personally, I don't use it, but it's there if you need it. So, and this is it. With the Xperia phones, there's not much differences on the outside. But let me say this, guys, there's actually quite a lot going on in the inside of this phone. So let me just explain some of them. So the inside, now the sensor is actually improved. Well, they say the sensor on this is actually two times improved compared to last year's Mark IV version. Now, what makes this a better sensor is because it uses two transistors. So one is the photodiode and the other one is a photo transistor. Now, one is responsible for creating good performance in low light. The other has a responsibility of low noise. Now, if you combine these two together, what do we get? Well, when you take photos in low light conditions, you'll get less noise in your images, which is good. This is why it's actually two times improved compared to last year's Mark IV version, which is very good. I will probably go out and do more tests in low light. If you remember last year, the Mark IV, we did get a lot of overheating issues. I even did a video test where I did the overheating test and it was giving a lot of problems. But I think afterwards it was solved with some firmware upgrades. So this one I haven't had any problems with overheating yet. But again, I might speak too soon. I will be doing more tests. So make sure you subscribe, guys. And the other thing on this camera is that we have all three lenses. Now you can shoot in 120 frames per second in all three lenses. Now this is very good, especially for myself as a content creator, because it means I can create that buttery smooth footage in 120 frames per second in all three different angles now, and that is a very big game changer. But the one thing that I've appreciated in this phone, I'm actually shooting now on this talking head video with the Sony Alpha Mark IV, and the only reason why I bought this camera was because of the CineTone. And now thanks to the new Mark IV, we do actually get CineTone built in here. So what does that mean? It simply means you don't have to do any color grading. I mean, you can do it, the choice is there, but the color is so accurate. It uses the color science that you get in the Sony Alpha cameras. So it brings out that you know, that amazing color science that you get in Sony Alpha cameras. And what this actually means is you get beautiful looking skin tones without the need of color grading. Now this is a very big game changer. The one thing that I do want to say and add to this is when get a S-Log footage out of this. Now I'm not saying that will be the case, it could be in the years to come, but all I'm saying is don't be surprised if we do get a S-Log coming out of these phones, because Sony is heading towards that direction. I mean, think about it guys, if they can create the CineTone in these phones, then surely the S-Log won't be no problem to them. You know, it'll just be a matter of time, so could be in a few years, could be next year, who knows. But yeah, so this is what I appreciate in these phones. Now, I do have a second channel if you do want to subscribe, called West Yorkshire Walkthrough, where I do a lot of walkthrough videos. Now, I am considering in doing a walkthrough video with this phone, just to see how it gets on. So if you do want to subscribe to that channel guys, I will leave all my links in the description box below. But yeah, now guys, this is the only phone that uses the 4K HDR, so again a very big thing for the world of mobile phones. Now the one thing I've noticed, I've watched a lot of Netflix, I've tried Netflix on this and Disney Plus, and the picture quality is just absolutely stunning. It's almost like having a mini TV, a mini cinema in your pocket. It's very good, you know, if you are a Netflix person or what have you, just like I am, then you know you won't be disappointed with the display on this. Absolutely stunning. Even the sound quality is just next level. And you know what guys, it gets better than this. Now you can actually attach this phone on top of your Sony Alpha cameras. So instead of recording straight onto SD card, we now have the capability to record the footage that comes out of your Sony Alpha cameras straight into the phone device. And not only that guys, you can actually have all these features with the anti-flicker and stuff, so you can control everything from the screen. I mean, how awesome is that guys? So what that basically means is you've got all these features like the focus peaking and all of that. You can control this on the device whilst it's attached on top of your Alpha cameras. I mean, this is a very big game changer in the world of mobile phones. So that is like having a field monitor on top of your Sony Alpha camera. You know, all the features that you would get on a separate monitor attached to the Alpha camera, it's all baked into the phone software now. That is actually impressive, you know. This is actually amazing because I'm a Sony shooter myself, so you know, it is if you've ever studied photography or even used a Sony Alpha camera, then you would understand why this the Sony Xperia phones are a photographer or a videographer's best friend. You do actually get 6 different presets baked into this phone to get that different kind of look. So, you know, you've got all these 6 different looks, you know, which is actually quite impressive because, you know, you can sort of like give your footage a different kind of feel to it. So again, pretty awesome. Yeah, and as I said guys, the autofocus on these phones are absolutely brilliant. You know, it's just next level. It just matches the autofocus that you have on your Sony Alpha cameras. Again, absolutely brilliant. It's not disappointed me at all. Not yet, but I'm hoping it does stay that way, and I'm sure it will, because I never had the issue on last year's Xperia Mark IV. And also guys, one thing to note here, the primary lens gives 52 megapixel, but the actual images will only use 48 megapixel from that. But it's understandably why, and the reason for that is because the camera can focus better in terms of stabilization. So it uses the reason for this is because the camera can stabilize better by using the edges, so it stays in one place. So this is the reason why it uses 48 megapixel. But you know, I might not be explaining it in a good way, but that's the reason why it does it. So you know, the crop field. All in all, it will make 12 megapixel images in the end. So, you know, even with 12 megapixels, it gives you that very fine detail in your images. And the other lens also uses 12 megapixels as well. So that's your telephoto lens and the ultra wide. So they will also use 12 megapixel. But I've noticed even with 12 megapixel, it's actually, you know, it gives crisp quality. I mean, you will only notice some noise when you zoom in, but even then, you know, you can't tell from a distance, which is normal in a 12 megapixel. So, you know, I'm still impressed with the image quality. And also the other thing is, you might notice behind the camera on the lens, you get the Zeiss T logo. So what is this? Basically, it's just kind of like the Zeiss T is like a technology that allows allow light to enter into the lens that will cause less lens glare, or you know, the sun glare, if you like. This is what the Zeiss T does. It's a very clever technology. So it's just a way of allowing so much light to enter into the lens, so you get those fine images without the without disruptions of too much sun or sun glare, that kind of thing, which again is a very clever technology. And the one thing that I do want to point out here is the Zeiss T is a very well-known technology. They do collaborate with the other companies as well, so it's a very, I urge everyone to go on Google and just type in Zeiss T. You'll be surprised how well known this kind of technology is. One thing that I did forget to mention, if you have pre-ordered this phone, you do get some free headphones with this. It was the same last year, and also you get a case with the phone as well, but that you do have to pay for that, but it will be 50% cheaper. But anyway guys, this wraps it up. If you do want to see me do more further tests with the Xperia Mark 5, just let me know guys. Just pop your comments in the comment box below. You know, I will do different tests, whatever you want to see. Even if you want me to go out there and shoot in low light conditions, I'm more than happy to do that. But let me know guys. But I hope you did learn something, and I hope I have convinced you to buy this phone, because believe me, Sony phones, they are heading in the right direction. There are mixed reviews. Some people are not happy about them. But the way I see it guys, everyone has their own preferences. For me, it's the Sony that's the winner. But anyway guys, if you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching.